exercise is called a vacuum drill. Now, there's essentially kind of like two avenues that we can think about when it comes to a vacuum. The first one, of course, is to suck in. All right, so to pull the stomach in, and then the second phase of the vacuum is to essentially expand, right? So as bodybuilders, you want to be able to vacuum so that you can control your abdominal muscles while you're holding poses on stage, right? Nothing worse than a bodybuilder who is excessively breathing and his stomach or her stomach is contracting and shrinking, right? Shrinking or expanding, and that's gonna change the entire look of your midsection throughout your entire posing routine. So vacuuming, very important for aesthetic athletes. For my powerlifters, the expanded vacuum, if you will, exercise is going to be very, very important because it's literally how you want to hold or position your transverse abdominal muscles or your midsection here while you are doing lifts that involve axial loading. So any squatting, any deadlifting, essentially anything where your spine is not supported and you need to be able to hold a position. So this could even go as far as your bent over rows. You can apply these concepts, okay? So simply put, a vacuum, which I'll demonstrate, is to pull the stomach area in. So from the side, what we want to do, again, I'm going to focus on my belly button area, and I'm going to place my hands on my hips. I'm going to pull my stomach in as far as I can, so pulling up towards my spine, shrinking the diameter of this position. Now, once I'm in this position, I'm going to try to hold it for a 8 to 10 second count. So while I'm doing this 8 to 10 second count, for all my bodybuilders, you need to be able to actively breathe while you're on stage. But the best way to do this is to take short breaths through the nose and even shorter breaths out through the mouth. So leave your lips slightly spaced apart, and you're gonna hold this position for 8 seconds. And good, and relax, okay? So what I'm doing there is I'm trying to keep my breaths as short as I can through my nose, out through my mouth, while holding the sucked in version. Now, you're gonna superset that sucked in version with the complete opposite. Even if you are a stage competitor, so aesthetics, you still want to know how to expand this area because it's just gonna give you better control over your midsection, okay? And for my powerlifters, this is where you will need to know because you still need to be able to suck in and control that action and brace and expand that action. For a lot of people, they need to do the complete opposite action to understand the action that they're trying to improve. So if you're trying to improve maybe scapular depression, sometimes doing elevation, for example, is a great way to understand. So if I go the opposite direction, then I go down, it helps me grasp or depict what I'm trying to achieve. When it comes to the vacuum, now I want to understand the expansion portion. So we've talked about the vacuum portion. We're gonna talk about the vacuum expanded portion. So same thing, hands on my hips, but now I'm going to expand this area. So increase the size as much as I can. I'm really trying to push my stomach out, and I'm gonna hold it for an 8 to 10 second count. Good. And so I am literally taking small breaths through the nose and out through the mouth. Now, when we are doing strength lifts like axial loading, squat, bench, deadlift, squat, deadlift, bent over row, etc., you still want to hold the breath in, best of your ability. However, if you're doing excessive repetition, like 5 or more, you might need to take some partial breaths here and there during your set, which I explained in other videos covering squat and deadlift. So while you're practicing this drill, it is okay to practice your breathing. Now, you could absolutely hold your breath for 8 to 10 seconds and just practice the expansion portion. That's perfectly fine. But whenever I program this, I want you to start with the vacuum. So I'm going to do a vacuum first. And then I'm going to do the expanded vacuum second. Okay, so that is the vacuum drill. Now, guys, you can literally do this all throughout your day. You can do it sitting at your desk, you can do it while you're walking the dog, you can do it while you're sitting and eating dinner. All it's going to do is increase your ability to control this area, okay? So whether you're on the spectrum of aesthetics or performance like powerlifting, weightlifting, you want to be able to understand and grasp both areas. To vacuum and expand.